All right, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a sec since I've made a video, made the last video. It is June, so it's in the middle of the summer. I thought it would be important to make a video, kind of an informative video, less of like a vlog about summer training, because summer training is really, really important. So with summer training, what I mean by summer training is that for most people in cross country, your season is August to October, September. It's kind of like the late summer, early fall kind of section of the year. But as the best cross country runners can tell you, and me being in this for like 5 years now, summer training is so important. So I'm going to be talking about why you need good summer training, and then I'm going to be talking about tips on how to have the very best summer training from me that I've learned from my own personal experience, from other people, from really fast runners, and from my coach and other places that have gained experience. So before anything, why should you have effective summer training, right? Like if you want to do your very best with cross country, you have to take summer training seriously. And that's something that I believe is so important because a lot of people with cross country, they want to get better, but they only start training maybe in August or September. You have to start early with cross country running. There's a couple reasons why, but the biggest reason is to train yourself mentally for very painful things, because summer training is pretty hard. It's to train your oxygen system, your aerobic system. So when people say, I'm building your aerobic system, or this is an aerobic run, it's just like, how effectively can you breathe? So if you build your aerobic system, it's going to make cross-country running so much better. You can keep a faster pace for a longer time. There's a whole thing behind that. But you can build that in the summer. You have to build an aerobic base in the summer. The next thing you can do is, build strength and speed. So when the season starts in August and September in those early races, you're killing it. And when you peak, hopefully at the right time in October. So now that we talked a little bit about why summer training is so important, let's look at a couple reasons and techniques about how we can do, or how we can train the best during these summer months. So I have a list of them. So the first tip I would say to summer training is the bare minimum one, but it's just to get outside. And it sounds really basic. Like, of course, I'm training is gonna be outside or on the track or treadmill. But like the idea is that it's so easy to not do anything during the summer. Like your coach may say, go out there for like an easy run. And, we talk a lot about easy runs with our cross country team. But the problem is, even though it's easy, it's still getting out the door. Like you have to start somewhere. And whether you're getting out the door and doing 2 miles or getting out the door doing 8 miles, you have to just get out. You have to have some kind of progress. And if you're dead tired, it's okay. That means that you have a starting point and you can keep improving on it. But there are so many runners, and I've done this many times in the summer, is just taking off weeks of not running, not doing anything whatsoever. So the starting point with summer training is to just do something. My coach has been saying, for so many years to me in the summer training, something is better than nothing. Get out there and go run. The second thing is to be consistent with your training. You definitely need to start small. A lot of people, try to ramp up their mileage really, really quickly. And if you're an elite runner, you can definitely do that. But for most people, it's the smartest thing to do, and even if you are an elite runner, to gradually build up your mileage. So for me and a lot of the varsity guys, we're starting really low right now. We're running 4 miles, 5 miles a day compared to usually, which I run 7, 8 miles a day. So because it's the summer, I'm running low mileage and eventually I'll ramp up. But the important thing to understand is you have to be consistent. You don't want to just run, maybe a 35-mile week and then a 10-mile week. Like you can't be inconsistent like that or you won't see progress. But the important thing to understand in the summer is it's a long period of time, it's hot, it's gonna be painful. You want to keep improving day after day. You want to keep learning, keep stretching, things like that. Be consistent with it throughout the summer. And I guarantee you're going to see the rewards in cross-country season. But be consistent with your mileage, consistent with your stretches, and consistent with your mentality too. You have to want to improve day after day after day. Enjoy the process, but do it consistently. The third thing is to do other exercises. This is something that my friend Farron has been telling me a lot about, and it's that if we do things like frisbee or hiking or swimming or biking or really a lot of these other exercises, even basketball, they train other muscles that running doesn't necessarily train you with. So, but other workouts like swimming really activates like your arms, for instance. And those are muscles that are being developed, in an aerobic way that aren't developed in other areas. Maybe slightly confusing, but just think getting outside and doing exercise is very, very, very important. But you want to vary it up. And the summer is a great place to do this because your workouts aren't as intense. Just yesterday, I ran 4 miles. Pretty easy. Just building a base. It was really relaxed run, really chill run. And then before then, I actually went to the gym and I did a bunch of different weights and did a bunch of different exercises, and I've been doing some biking as well. So, I'm gaining muscle, I'm working on different muscle groups, and doing other cardio things like that. So those kind of exercises alongside running is really, really helpful. And it's also fun. Like, it's really fun to, go out for a swim after a run. Like, the next tip is to implement long runs. Now, I may make a specific video just on long runs, but long runs are essentially, they're pretty self-explanatory, longer runs than you would usually run. And they're for developing your lungs, making sure you have the endurance to keep going for a large amount of time. And sometimes it's good to have speed in there, but throughout the summer, you're trying to build mileage, and the long run is a great place to do that. And for these, you definitely want to push yourself mentally to try to go for a longer time. You don't want to go as fast as possible. You're trying to go for distance. And these are really fun too. A lot of people have like a negative view of long runs. I absolutely love long runs because when I was younger, and I even still do this, I would go to parks, like a bunch of different random parks, and I would run lots of miles on really cool trails. You can go beautiful places and just go places because you have a lot of mileage to work with. So definitely incorporate long runs, and as you're increasing your mileage throughout the summer, increase your mileage of the long runs as well. That's also really helpful. A good rule is maybe 25% of your mileage in a week. Try to put that into the long run. I don't know. It depends per person. Another great tip is to track your progress. The years that I have done my very best in cross country and have had the best summer training, I have like a little calendar that tracks how much miles I've done every single day. I know it's super simple. Some people have really complicated spreadsheets or running journals. I like to kind of simplify it as much as here's mine. This is mine for this year. It looks really weird and complicated, but I like it. So you can see it's running and working out. So across like this way is just a run, and across this way is like a workout or muscle fitness. So you can see I've been doing a lot of running. Those are like days that I'm kind of checking off. And I put like little notes, like 6 miles, 4 miles, 4.5 miles, a bike, 4 miles easy, like things like that. This is definitely not like the prettiest one that I've done before. I'm a very visual person, so I like to see the progress that's happening. It's very satisfying, trust me, to see your mileage on like a calendar. And of course, communicate with your coaches, but I really like tracking my mileage, and you can see the progress that's happening, even if you don't feel the progress that's happening. Another thing, and a lot of my other teammates do this, is keeping up online and using apps like Strava and Garmin to post your runs. And you can, of course, check your own progress. Your other teammates or friends can check your progress as well. Your coach can check your progress. And that's really cool. It's a great technology. We have so much technology that can help us look at the progress throughout our summer. And another thing is to stay in contact with your coaches. Hopefully you have a coach that wants to have, a close relationship with you, and you can communicate your mileage and your training with them. I know that has been probably one of the biggest contributors to my success with running, is having a close relationship where I'm able to share mileage and how my training is going with my coach. And even if you have great training, still communicate, still have transparency with your coach so they can see what you're going through, because sometimes they see your training a different way than you see it. So it's just important to have that, and it's a great way to track your progress, is sending like reports about your running. And the last one is running journals. I kind of mentioned this a little bit. I personally have had a hard time keeping up a running journal because it takes so much time. But, tracking the amount of mileage and how it felt and workouts you did, and putting all that information on a journal, but mainly, how you feel around your training, is something that's really powerful with mental clarity and, again, to track your progress. All right, the most important part of summer training, and it's to enjoy your training. I know it sounds cheesy. Just here's the thing that I've found, is that if you don't find a part of the running process that you genuinely enjoy, you genuinely like to do, you're going to quit. And I know that sounds harsh, and that's something that I've found extremely true in my life, and everybody, all the best runners I know, they have all kind of agreed with me, is you have to find something you genuinely like doing. Whether it's the community, whether it's, the exhilaration of training and racing, and you actually enjoy that, or maybe you don't enjoy it, but you can tie things like being outside, being in really cool parks, having great food, hopefully you're having great fuel, listening to music when you train, going to beautiful sceneries, like throw in things like that makes you enjoy the process even more. For me, that's been something that's definitely kept me in running. I'm kind of a selfish person. I kind of like to enjoy whatever I'm doing. So for me, having a podcast and running in beautiful places, listening to great music, being around friends, like that's a reason to make me want to run. And that's what I would say, is find things that make you want to run, that make you want to get outside, even if you may not feel like it, to get outside and go run, especially during the summer. Because during the summer, it's less intense of training. You can really spend more time to enjoy the process. Take time, be positive. It's a fun experience during the summer. All right, so those are it for my tips on summer training. These are just a couple of guidelines that, that have helped me a lot in the past couple of years, and some advice and a little bit about why we need to have effective summer training. So I hope you enjoyed this video. There's actually going to be more videos like this coming out. Me and my friend Farron, who is a really fast runner, we're actually planning on making a couple more videos together. We're definitely going to try to make more of these coming up soon. And we're actually also going to make more vlogs, which is great. I love making vlogs. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you later. The Hoka is going to say goodbye.